Welcome to the September 11th bhyve production user call. We have Andrew, Alexi, Patrick, Hans, Chris, and myself, Michael, so far. And welcome Tarsnap as a bhyve sponsor. They have kindly provided a ticket to someone who is present. bhyve has the most dated, god-awful website that I have explored updating with Chat GPT and friends, but wanted to barf. But there are topics here, but there are more on the dock. Thank you, sponsors, if I'm to say anything. And luckily, excuse me, at least two or three people present will, or even more, will be there, along with Jan and others. So thank you, OpenBSD Amsterdam, Netzcommune, and Alcamila. I will get that correct pronunciation from Hazam and Tarsnap. And that second to last is the company doing the development of Silva. So thank you also, Tarsnap, for the thing that just flew by. That is the FreeBSD Weekly Git. I forget if this is replacing a previous site, but what it does is step throughs and organizes and makes pretty changes of the week based on their categories. So if I was to search for descriptors, DESC, we see jail descriptors, which is something that Jamie added in per the jail call the other moment. Oh, BZ's alive and well. Great. Awesome. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Welcome, Bjorn. So anywho, this looks quite user-friendly and digestible, and I will drop this in chat. Thank you for your patience, Andrew. For those who are in FreeBSD land wanting to track things. And for what it's worth, as we see Illumos Cafe coming online, similar tools need not be specific to a given distro. In fact, for what it's worth, we could reach out to, I believe it's Graham Percival who's doing this, and there's some ARM64 work, who's doing this, and maybe it wouldn't be hard to aim it also at the Illumos repo. So, Andrew, there's something to think about. In other housekeeping news, after years of suggestions, I am trying Patreon, and I have two followers whom I both want to support. So it's like, wait, hold on, no, I'm looking for the public, but I have a primitive page for call for testing after 7 years of these calls, and I have some cute little, very short articles from posts from late last night. So for those asking for Patreon call for testing, there it is. Actually, it's a URL. Oh, members, that's not helpful. If I go to the dashboard, which is internal stuff you probably don't want to see, but whatever, it's pretty much a bare instance such as life. And will it load? Maybe. Call for testing. So /c/call for testing. That said, if we were to move the OpenZFS call back an hour, it would help certain folks in Asia Pacific, Australia. Jan says an hour would be okay. Oh, let's say looking at you, Patrick, Alexei, Chris, and Hans going down the list, does OpenZFS even matter to you? Patrick, obviously you are a fan of such things, but would 1 or 2 hour
Maybe.
pushback from 1 p.m. Pacific work?
That would make it
Maybe.
which time in UTC?
That's a great question. I could go look at the doc. It's 1 p.m. Pacific. I could bring up also time zone buddy. Yeah, I should have marked that on there. It does pop into the early release day for my kids, which is kind of a surprise. So actually pushing it back a bunch would be beneficial across the board, but who knows? We'd put a lot of pressure on Europe, and I don't want to do that. They're under plenty of pressure right now. World time,
It
buddy.
says 8 p.m. UTC, I think.
Sounds about right, pushing from 7 to 8. We're not doing the 4 hour calls like we used to. Ooh, I still have it in Los Angeles, Berlin, and Melbourne. If we were to push to 2 p.m., it's 11 p.m. Berlin. Is that sounding right? Or 7 a.m., which is about when Australia can join. But uh, we may give it a go, see how it goes. I don't want to punish anyone, but time zones punish everyone. So Think about that, please. Think about that. Also, carrying over from the OpenZFS call that overlaps heavily with all things bhyve, benchmarks, reproducible workloads. And oh my gosh, Eva, who might join, appears to have a dtrace clone of the block trace on Linux. So I will let her describe that accurately because I don't want to butcher it. But that was a mildly mind-blowing thing from earlier this week, as in yesterday. Watch this space. But Andrew, your points there are well taken. If you check out yesterday's Open ZFS call, we went through some tools that we all have within reach. And actually, Patrick and Chris, having not joined too often, do you have some favorite tools, be it IOZone and Friends, be it FIO, be it FIO, be it something we haven't heard of that you routinely use to, if anything, pre-flight a new system and just make sure it meets expectations, that your new box isn't slower than your old box, even though it should be, etc.?
Well, admittedly, no.
Well, hopefully you'll get some
So,
out of this.
so far, every new box has lived up to expectations.
That's cool. Hey, well, good thing.
At least in recent years. So I'm a bit behind on the entire benchmarking thing.
No worries. Well, if you haven't had to, that's great. But yeah, out in the wild, sometimes, I mean, from the ZFS calls, half the ZFS diagnostics or more is purely network diagnostics. Then some of it's occasionally the hardware and software. So such is life. I have two bugs listed here. The Honeycomb LX2 host is kicking my behind, along with the Ampere host, which is failing to boot FreeBSD. ARM is not the easy peasy lemon squeezy platform of the future I was hoping it would be. Hopefully that's not user error, but I have some extremely talented people helping me out. I've pasted this to the bug tracker and not heard anything. Uh, this is almost a placeholder, but I really don't want it to fall into the radar. Uh, bhyve on ARM64 has a 16 vCPU limit, and that's like a flashback to the good old days on AMD 64. So I certainly hope there's a clear path forward on addressing that because a great amount of effort went into the topology work. Sorry to go one tab too
Do
far
we
on
know
that.
do we
Yes.
know the source of that limit? Is it something simple like just a constant somewhere?
So no, things got if you could for years modify the constant inside of the I believe bhyve user space process, but things got rather inefficient for allocations and it was like, well, we need a better way. So they eventually came up with a better way, and in parallel is all the topology flexibility that one might want, where they want, I don't know, four sockets, one core each because they want that. So ARM64 is obviously the newest of the bhyve platforms, and it's due for some love, but hopefully that love will come a little further than it's at for FreeBSD 15. And on John Baldwin's checklist for all things FreeBSD 15, bhyve ARM64 is done, which no, it's not done. And I hope to have a far more updated and happy report at bhyvecon on the 26th of this year, a few days after my birthday. If anyone's available a few days before, let me know. Also, Florian joined us and saw Silva in action and has some very kind words based on that from, was it last week's call? So let's take a look at some of his kind words. I know he's very busy with Proxmox and Proxmox load balancing, his own perhaps project, but his beautiful manual page-like blog has exclamation points in a good way. So there was one of the first clustering demos, and we had a great discussion of clustering in all its forms, and that's a topic I'd like to bring up at bhyvecon because I've had some epiphanies there, and we can discuss those later if you like. But he runs through doing it as a user I noticed that it has some really, really cute ASCII art in the terminal, which is adorable, like little spinny things and such. And uh, I've provided a little documentation fix to Hizam, and he, excuse me, Hizam has not joined the call yet. But clustering, the built-in clustering, which at this stage is largely a single pane of glass or whatever term you prefer for that, but there can be a list of hosts. You can manage them from one spot. Kind of cool. Uh,
Even code migration and just moving a shutdown VM from one host to another one saves tons of manual work and error-prone things and stuff. So
bingo.
that's already great.
And ZFS is your friend, and some of us care far more about a snapshotted and quiesced and written equals zero ZFS data set or image or whatever than we do about some magical, beautiful ability to move one performing orchestra from one hall to the neighboring hall and not miss a beat. It's like, oh, yeah. What if someone forgets their eyeglasses on the little music stand, So anyway, he's got some very thoughtful, very, very kind words here. That's linked in the doc. And we've had a lot of network overlay and VPN discussions. And on Tuesday at the jail call, there was a very lovely description of the Yggdrasil, not to be confused with the 90s Linux distro, Yggdrasil overlay network, which is IPv6 only, or in the developers' terms, IPv6, which is six in Russian, which blew my mind. I was like, wait, I know what he's saying. But hey, he was a lovely person. He was concerned that his language wasn't up to speed for English, but he was great. Watch the recording. So here are Florian's words on hypervisor oriented VXLANs and goodies. So check out that post. Thank you, Florian. And this raises a key question. Will Florian be at EuroBSDCon? Let me make a note of that. Oh, okay. Oh, looking at CBSD. I have long wanted a CBSD person to join these calls. It's its own lifestyle. I'm happy for them. I know they're very interested in live migration. And Hans, who's present, is working on a beautiful presentation of a proposal to provide the CPU ID work necessary for live migration. So the timing is perfect insofar as lots of foundation people, including Greg, will be at EuroBSDCon and even bhyvecon, and we can discuss that. So, lucky you, we will not be discussing the libzfs PR that Jan and I are hoping to craft such that FreeBSD can ship with some just like 3 headers needed for ZFS and building applications on it, because some very good stuff will come out of that. And Andrew knows what I'm talking about, having attended the OpenZFS Summit and been part of that discussion, because, hey, let 1,000 flowers bloom on making it easy to interface with ZFS. Thank you very much. So that's my news reports. There's a lot going on. I have a bunch of other tickets that have nothing to do with this, but the good news is at least 2 were resolved within like 12 hours. That's very encouraging. That's extremely encouraging. And we had a lovely moment after yesterday's call when Alexander updated his report on RM user and felt quite left out with no one, felt discouraged with no one reviewing it, felt discouraged with Edmass saying, hey, maybe this is a junior job, which had he read that, he probably wouldn't have spent a moment doing it. And then Rod Grimes kindly approved it. And so that just had a great turnaround time. And we had a very good discussion on the philosophy of the interactivity of utilities like add user and RM user that might be captive in the console or might be purely scripted. And of course, PW is good for that in FreeBSD land. But enough from me. What do you all have going on? Or Alexi, hey, I know you've been working on EDK2. Is there anything you can show the group?
Yes. Okay, let me.
So anything before Alexi starts? Because it might
Sure,
be a bit.
I guess.
Yeah,
Let her rip.
two remarks to add to
Yes,
the
please.
blog post. One,
Yeah,
I just linked the Discord of the Sylvie project because that's their main communication channel at the moment. And well, my backed by years of experience stance on stretch layer 2 is simply don't.
don't
I
what?
linked I linked an article to back that, and
Ah,
we can
right.
not necessarily worth discussing in this forum here.
There you go. So we now have Alexei's screen. And did you say there are 2 points, one of which was Discord?
One of it was Discord, and the other I would discourage the use of stretch layer 2
Oh, okay. Got it. Then that's a
for anything.
okay. Well, that's something to discuss with be it Florian and others.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
already here.
Alex, we have some very cool diagonal gray, light gray on dark gray stripes. Maybe you need to approve some amount of OS support for sharing. It just needs
Okay,
max headroom to like jump in and comment.
is my screen working?
No, we see gray stripes.
Yeah.
Huh.
Was a computer
The mouse
involved?
cursor.
Is it why is this?
It did look good
Wait
in
a
the
second.
earlier preview as your little avatar in Zoom, but hey,
Oh,
is it?
wait, I know
Oh,
why is this. This
okay.
is this because of Wayland?
Oh boy, maybe.
I think this is because of Wayland. Wait a second. Can
Uh,
I just do a full screen?
yes, that looks
Okay, I
better.
can
Yes, please.
I can share this as my camera. Okay. Uh, I want can you see this or no?
Let's we see you as your avatar, but we don't see it full screen. Let me see if
Okay,
I
let me just log out and log back in
okay,
as
cool.
Xorg.
Are there any Wayland users present? People seem very opinionated about all things Wayland and Xorg, and I know nothing. Other topics while Alexei reconnects and reshares. And I did have a morbid thought. Could there be a FreeBSD and Lumos unified EDK2 build on each platform that does all the things, including these honeycomb LX systems, which have different UEFI firmware depending on your memory speed, which was not something I was expecting to worry about, but there are different images depending on your RAM speed, which I'm speechless. I thought computers were like plug and play, UEFI, generic, have a nice day, but no worries. I got there. 2021-05 firmware built running, downloaded directly from their site, which is seemingly, a few years out of date, given that there's what, 3 or 4 releases a year? And Alexei, when he returns, might have some comments on that. So, Patrick, Chris, are you presenting at Euro BSDCon? Please tell the kind audience what your topics will be. Patrick, you joined
Um,
ahead first. Or Chris, let her rip.
yeah, go ahead, Peter.
Okay, my first topic will be how to build complex network infrastructure in a standard commercial hosting environment, exemplified by what we do at Hetzner, where we use their robot product, which is dedicated server and no custom parts or anything, special contracts, special things they do. Just you can just order it through the web interface. It's all just the regular product, but we can build high availability clusters with 2 OpenSense machines in front of a cluster of more machines running FreeBSD and jails for web hosting and all that stuff. And we can build that within their environment with IPv4, IPv6, everything you need. And I will lay out how to do that and the challenges we faced and how to do the routing and to use their vSwitches and stuff like that.
That sounds a bit like a sales pitch, but I'm sure it will be all technical
A
content.
little bit. I
Okay.
contacted them if they wanted to send an engineer, but they declined. But they are offering me some coupons to give away for a free month or whatever at the
Mhm.
conference. Yeah, bit of a marketing pitch, but I mean, I've really built complex stuff, and that formerly we were only able to do in our own data center, and we just do it in a hosting environment managed by somebody else, somewhere inside Germany. And I'm pretty proud of the achievement. And the talk was accepted.
That's cool.
I laid out everything I would cover in great detail, and the committee seemed to like it. And the
Cool.
second one is
Yes.
clustered network storage. And the current state of affairs, a little bit of history, like yeah, using rsync while discussing maybe somebody can join in and provide some insight on why don't we have an lsync D implementation on FreeBSD that works. We don't have iNotify, but we have KQ. I don't see why we could not do the same as Linux. Well, then we have NFS, which does not scale among multiple standby hosts and stuff like that. And there is a new kit on the block. It's by a French service provider and it's named Garage. And I got it up and running in a single day at the company on our last Just Do It day. And it provides you a clustered horizontal scale out S3 implementation,
Alrighty then.
which is more than good enough for our main challenge, namely asset storage for content management systems and web applications and stuff. You don't necessarily need a file system for that. S3 is great, and if that scales better than that Gluster, rest in peace, or Ceph or anything, then great.
Cool. Chris, what you got?
Well, so after holding 3 tutorials last year, I scaled back a bit, and I'm just doing one this year, which is basically running or setting up a mail server on FreeBSD. And it is kind of a mix between the theoretical aspects and getting everything set up in a lab so people, can try stuff out because, as we all know, setting up your own mail server and not doing things properly is a really great way to get hacked. So that's gonna be a show and tell in terms of the theory of running a mail server and setting up your own lab with, your own DNS server, 2 mail servers that communicate with each other, and a client computer that you can actually try sending emails between the different hosts, and everything is set up with jails and bhyve. So bunch of work went into that. Looking forward to that.
Cool. And does that overlap with anything out
Hello?
of Michael Lucas? Welcome back, Alexei. Welcome
This is
back.
horrendous. I had to sign up for a Zoom account just to join. It did not let me
Really?
join without a Zoom
Oh.
account.
Yeah. Interesting. It shouldn't have to unless they are geo
Yeah,
blocking you or something.
it was
Lucas.
just not loading. I decided to make a Zoom account and it
Hello.
loaded.
Cool.
Okay, let me share my screen now.
Yes, please.
Desktop 1. Okay, does this work? OBS.
Yes, much better. We see
Oh,
some
finally.
black floating windows, but that might be a
This?
rendering bug. Yeah, the
This
top thing. Is
OBS?
that the
Oh yeah, that's just Zoom.
Zoom? Oh, well, yeah. Oh, I've never seen it leak out to the other system, but such is life. We see your desktop with a console on the left and GPUs on the right, listed, or chipsets rather. List of Intel PCI graphics devices. Ooh, could you drop that in chat? That looks great if chat's, working. Wow. Alrighty. That was fast. Oh, thank you, Chris. So you're running a FreeBSD VM with GPU pass-through? Or is it purely a UEFI demo? Oh, and you're muted. But Alexei, you are muted on your nifty new account.
I was talking all this time.
Ha! Gotcha.
I was talking all this time.
Oldest Zoom
Okay.
bug in the book. Okay, so if you can drop your graphicsdrivers.eu list into chat, if
Okay.
easy.
Yes,
And we
I
saw
dropped this
something
into your
boot.
Discord.
Oh, into Discord. Okay, I'll look. We're on that platform. Oh, thank you. Okay, fine. So what you
Yes.
got? We saw something boot. Do
So I was
tell.
say yeah, I was saying it boots very fast. As in I have this as a reference. Let me go to downloads and
Okay.
FreeBSD on phone. The bootloader goes through all of this when it boots,
Yeah.
all of these slow updates, and only then it like slowly draws everything. But
Sweet.
here, and yeah, this is FreeBSD on the phone, of course.
Yeah, that was cool.
Here, it just instantly loads. Boom.
So
Very
we've
nice.
been coordinating on the bhyve logo, and it boots so quickly. You have like 1 or
Yep.
2 seconds to grab a screen capture, which is a little annoying, but
Yeah.
that's a good problem to
Also,
have.
is anybody else talking? Or
It's mostly me just babbling away,
okay,
but
okay.
you've
So
got the floor.
I was saying, I'm trying to find a way to exclude all the modern Intel GPUs from getting the GVTD pass-through method because they don't use it anymore.
Hmm.
It's only used for older Intel iGPUs and everything else, starting from IXE. I think all the XE, all the ARC GPUs, they no longer use it. Where's Intel ARC here? Iris Plus. I don't know if Iris Plus has that. I'm gonna have to test. I have a laptop with Iris Plus. Arc does not use GVTD anymore. So what I was using, I just changed the vendor Intel string, like number to a different number. So every single Intel GPU did not use GVTD, but that's the wrong solution. This file in over here, user source as in bhyve MD64, PCI GVTD.c. We have this function GVTD probe, which first probes if the vendor matches for Intel, but it just probes for the selector and vendor. We, I believe we can just, okay, wait, class. It probes for PCI class. I don't think that is much relevant here. So, oh yeah, PCIC display just sees if it's a display driver. Yep. We need to also add so it probes if it's in a list of older GPUs because I think every single other Intel GPU that will come out now will not use GVTD anymore since they already stopped. Oh,
Hmm. What have they moved to?
just normal PCI pass-through and SRIOV, which is a complete pain. For like if you want just normal pass-through to get a display in a VM or graphic acceleration, it's regular pass-through just like a regular PCI
I
device.
see.
And if you need several virtual machines using the
Right.
GPU at the same time, it's SRIOV. I
Does
have
that
never
move
figured that out.
mean the firmware retrieval is more difficult than it was on Intel?
You don't even need firmware on
You don't.
Intel.
Okay, that's good.
You don't even need a VBIOS on Intel.
Okay. Do you have any SR-IOV compatible hardware?
Yes, my Intel Arc.
How's that going?
I've never tried SRIV and I don't want to do it.
Okay.
It's way too complex. The only place where I know it could work is Microsoft's Hyper-V hypervisor. I do not want to install Windows just to test that out.
Yeah, I can see how that's a challenge. Hmm. I'll add that as a topic. Let's see.
Let me go psiconf to arc. This is, yep, class. This is for display. Yep. My Radeon is the same class.
Okay.
Vendor device. Need to just grab the device and then match it for a list to just make a header file or place it over here. An array, I guess. And just match it for everything in the array. If it's not in there, then bail out.
What does that look like in practice to a user? And can you, for example, can you show us GPU pass-through on FreeBSD with what you've got
Right
set
now,
up here?
on
Yeah.
the Intel GPU, I'm gonna have to compile bhyve with this
no
set to the
worries.
wrong value because I still don't have a patch for this. Let me
Okay.
just
No
sudo vim.
worries. Take care, Patrick. Good night. See you soon. As long as the European airspaces
Want
stay
to-
open.
Let me make a comment of this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, I guess. Now sudo make.
And Hans, while he's wrestling that, have you bumped into GPU SRIOV in your travels?
Let me make install.
No, I haven't.
Desktop,
Yeah, because I can see how that is the promised land, but might be difficult to get to.
CVM. Let me now grab the correct GPU. Is this 4500? 40, okay, this is for my AMD GPU. I'm gonna copy over to arc pc.bhyve.
Okay.
48, that's sound. Wait, no, this is USB. Wait, no, this is sound, this is USB, this is the GPU. This, we're gonna remove this and create a new S. Let's do 50 and 5, 8,
Good VM.
5,
Yeah.
1. Really pass through 4500 pass through 4600. It's not 4501 like an IMD, it's 4600. Yep. Audio controller.
And the audio is required for graphics, or it's nice to have?
It's just best to have. And let me just quickly edit bind.sh. Yep, I have this here. 4500, 4600. So I'm going to quickly actually X out of excerpt completely. Remove this. And let me run this through SSH, probably, or bind on here. And then we're gonna have to do SSH. Desktop, bhyve sudo sh scripts bind.sh. Here we go. Now I cannot use my keyboard.
Oh,
Let's
oops. Yeah, SSH in if you can.
let me grab SSH.
Shame that serial
I'm
ports
gonna.
went away.
Oh, is this an issue on my monitor or is this just Zoom?
We
Racer.
see a beige
Okay,
terminal
yep.
with
Okay, that was Zoom. Okay, close.
OBS.
SSH. Out. Here we go. Desktop. bhyve sudo. I hope this virtual machine. Wait, no, not test. ArcPT. I hope I have all the ISOs. Oh yeah, I need to mint ISO Linux Mint Cinnamon. I do not have the Linux Mint ISO there. Are you serious?
Da, da, da. And for what it's
Please
worth, I
work.
noticed that
Okay, it's
Linux is
booting.
indeed your friend for testing GPU
I need
pass-through.
SSH again because Linux needs confirmation for booting, unlike like the other Linuxes. Sudo cu-l dev nmd nmdm 0b connected. Oh, this is okay. I'll just look at here. Can I do full screen? New window. Okay. It's gonna take some time.
Because it's booting from ISO or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
I plugged an HDMI into the wrong GPU.
Again, to quote
Okay, let's hope that it
Mrs. Rabbit.
works.
Okay.
Hope that I can see. I swapped HDMIs.
Okay.
Will we see it?
We see black, but that's
No, nothing.
not always a bad thing.
Yeah, it already loaded drivers. Let's restart the VM and hope that it works. Um, please.
Fingers crossed.
Restart Cinnamon. Black screen.
Is there a KVM switch in your future? Keyboard
No, I don't have a KVM switch for now.
and in your future?
Maybe in the future. Okay, come on. There's display output. Yep. This is strange. Why is it lines?
And we're seeing black, but I wouldn't blame. I'm happy to blame Zoom.
It's a bunch of okay. Can you see a bunch of lines?
We see black, solid black
Okay.
string. Very strange. GPU pass-through is not for the faint of heart.
This is probably the reset bug. Even Intel's have reset bug.
Oh, really? Okay, but as I
Yeah.
recall, you were making some progress on that.
Yeah, I already have pretty much complete solution script. I just need to add
Great.
it to my VM startup and shutdown.
Brilliant. Inquiring minds want to know.
And I need some proper documentation for it because only I know how to use it for now.
Yeah, please. Yes. Yes, yes.
And if you use it incorrectly, you can kill your GPU, so you need to be very careful with it. I can
Alrighty
see
then.
Chris laughing.
Yeah, that is great marketing right there.
Well, and that might explain why it's been elusive for a decade. I mean,
Yeah,
just do a search of it. It's like, well, it's affecting everybody. Thank you, vendors.
Okay, kill the virtual machine. Yep. The screen, you saw a little line there in the screen.
Okay.
The virtual machine died. Sudo. Do I have the? Oh, I removed all my PCI states. Okay, let's just create all the PCI states back and do the anti-reset bug. So the reboot. We're gonna have to reboot for this.
All right. Is reboot adequate, or do you need a full hardware shutdown and cool down and
Usually for hardware
of the
reset.
electrons? Okay.
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna have any output here on the screen, then then reboot was fine for the GPU.
Cool. Good.
If we're not gonna see anything, then I'm gonna have to completely power down the PC and wait like 5 seconds with the power button like held down. Okay, yeah. It's dumb. Oh, okay, there is screen output.
I see an underscore, which I did see for a week on. Oh, nice progress. A week on the Ampere system. But and I guess it was the wrong RAM. Okay.
Okay, let's quickly SH when it connects to the network.
And remind me, we're looking at Intel or AMD GPU?
AMD. Wait, Intel GPU, AMD hardware.
Okay, fine.
Next up, dev, bhyve, scripts. Wait, why do I have a swap file here for this?
Couldn't tell you.
Arc PC. Wait, no, that's the bhyve script. Let's go to experiments. Test. I have a simple test script here. Just make a safe state. Sh. Oh, forgot. VGA PCI. Let me just check which GPU is my Intel. It's VGA PCI 1. VGA PCI 1. If we're gonna pipe this into let's create state. VGA and send HDAC1. Here we go. I should have probably just used like PCI 04600 HDA. HDA. Yep, this looks fine too. Now I'm going to state VGA and quickly remove everything. After, yep, here, just
Really?
remove all of this.
Yeah.
HDA2. Actually, HDA, no. Don't remove this from HDA. Or let's do. Let's do.
And I recall this being the heart of the GPU reset bug, is that some values were just blown out on
All of the
VM
values are
reboot.
blown out. All of these values were just set to FFF.
Okay.
Okay, now let's sudo sage scripts bind. Now let's sudo, let's cd back into experiments and also create states of bound GPU and HDA. Here we go. Now start PTVM.
Is it not
PC.
running on the left already? Oh, there it goes.
Okay. Blank. Let's wait. Oh, wait. No, let's not wait. We need to start the VM. Dev and then DM0B. Announcement.
Oh,
This
right.
is so messy. Okay. It should start here now. We should get a display output
And
in some time. Okay.
That's
Yep,
familiar
it's
territory.
loading.
Okay, yep.
Loading kernel. Loading the GPU drivers.
You're seeing that on your projector
And lines.
display?
Wait, why is it lines?
Hmm.
I can okay, can you see those lines? Let me go to
No,
GIMP.
I see black screen for the entire display of projector display. Anyone else? Oh, wait, now we have GIMP. Hold on, is that you
Let me show
locally?
let me show you
Yeah, paste it in there or something.
let me just paste it in here and up the brightness. Contrast.
I can
Right?
see the
Brightness.
lines.
You can see the lines. Oh, I'm jealous.
Okay. Curves. Yeah. Look at
Oh,
this.
I see. Yep, yep.
Yeah, it's not, it looks the same on my monitor too.
Hmm.
Ah.
And this worked previously?
Yeah.
Okay.
This did work previously. I don't know what happened.
No worries. It's you're obviously going through the forest with a machete and making great progress. And
Help. Shit. How do I exit? How do I exit? Exit from. Okay. Okay, here we
there
go.
you go.
Do we have anything in the mask? We don't have anything in the mask. don't know what could be happening. Did I fail something in the VM settings? Let me see.
You did you do
511.
a parameter restore while it was
6.
running? Because we saw a VM of some kind on the side there, but
Yeah, let's do 6 here instead, and I'll sudo sh. Yeah, we don't have, and let's do a parameter restore, just in case.
Okay.
Verify, wait, no, verify is a different one. I need to on this because I just have those as functions. Old sh test ci0 4500 pipe a file from the state vga bound and the HTA bound. Sudo defctl reset ci0 4500 4600 and it's bridge. So yeah, we'll just sudo sh argpt. Okay, starting mint. Will it work now?
Hopefully. Okay.
90% of these experiments is just waiting until the VM boots.
Right. Are you doing it with or without the VNC frame buffer?
No
Because
VNC.
sometimes apparently it's wanted, sometimes it's not wanted for
Lines.
obvious
Why is
lines.
it lines again?
Well, keep at it and maybe report back next week.
Okay.
Cool. So your test, as I understand it, you have Intel
Yep.
Arc,
A770.
AMD, and perhaps on the CPU, plus discrete, plus NVIDIA at your disposal.
At my disposal, I have an Intel Arc A770, two AMD GPUs, RX 580 and RX 7600.
Mm-hmm.
I no longer have my ThinkPad with an older Intel iGPU.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunately died.
No worries.
I do
And
from time to time have a laptop with NVIDIA DGPU and an Intel iGPU.
okay,
And I
when there are
also
things for
have
the rest of us to test, let us know. Go
I
ahead.
also have a laptop with an AMD dedicated GPU. I think it's an RX 460
Okay.
and an AMD iGPU. It's a Vega 8.
Did you learn anything more about that Chinese GPU that you mentioned a week or two ago?
No, there's like no info about it.
Okay.
The only thing I know is that I can buy it
Ah,
from Alibaba.
and what was that name again?
More threads.
Moore, like Moore, like the
Yeah,
Moore's Law
more
and
threads.
threads. Okay. Dear listeners, check that out. It's a bit surprising. Well, uh, is I is your EDK2 review up to date or PR in this case? I guess being ports, it's in
Let's go to
bug.
a person asked about okay, making sure not a bot.
Mm.
Somebody asked about boot index. I test the boot index. I cannot get it to work properly.
And what's the boot annex?
EZK2. It's to specify which device will boot first.
Oh, okay. Yes, the index and the ordering. Okay.
Here we go. This.
Um,
I tried. I made my own configs, and the only thing I could do is to make one of the devices boot first. Sometimes when I added the firmware, or like the firmware variables, but then I couldn't make it stop booting first.
hmm.
I can show you the configuration. So I have to copy over thing. I have USB of Memtest 86 Pro, Linux Mint ISO here, and FreeBSD disk. So I could not due to their config already have a single HCI device and a bunch of HD, comma CD, comma HD again. But
Hmm.
I could make it sort of work like this. And even then, the only thing that worked really is either the Mint and either the Linux Mint would just get stuck booting, either memtest would get stuck booting, but I could never get FreeBSD to boot first.
Are all of the device models supported? So it could be an NVMe device and
No, this
UEFI
is
knows to choose from it
I
if you
believe
hypothetically use one.
it is in the manual on the HCI device, so
Okay,
should work here.
interesting.
We can
Oh,
go to the man page, man
and you're setting a
bhyve.
boot index, so that information is passed through to UEFI?
Yeah, it should get passed through to the UEFI to the variables, the UEFI variables file.
Ah, yes.
It should get like saved there. Yep.
Uh,
The
yes,
WCAG
okay.
file is used to specify the boot order. The guest firmware may ignore or doesn't support this CFG file in case this feature doesn't work as expected. It is in SCSI device and HCI. Where was HCI?
Take care,
Yep,
Andrew.
hero. This was HCI.
Okay.
Oh, this might be just kind of confusing. Yeah, here we go. ROM device. Yeah, ROM, comma, var file. This is the var file you have to specify. Obviously, this is the UEFI vars.fd.
Yep.
User local. You make a copy of it and then specify it because it gets modified.
Yeah, it gets the variables
Okay,
pushed
to
into it, I
bhyve.
guess.
Yep, here we go. UEFI vars. You have a local copy here. So yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Hmm.
I ran
2508.
out of ideas.
Hmm. Okay, well, uh, let's see who's on that. It might be good to tag some more developers on it. I mean, it's hard to UEFI has been a strange one as for like who is working on it at any given time. And I thank you for all of your attention to it. But like Rebecca Cran was very much working on it. Um, Peter early on. Alexander jumped in. I'm looking at the ticket here. Okay, well, it's getting some attention, but interesting. And did you not have this bug with the previous version of your
The
bugs? I mean,
lines. I did not have the team like
no,
on
the
normal
boot
bhyve
order.
before.
What about the boot order issue?
Oh, the boot order?
Yeah, or did you test that on the previous version
I
of the
just
review?
tested it. I never tested it before. It seems like it
Got
just
it.
doesn't work.
Ah,
Maybe it worked on some older EZK2 version. Maybe it worked only on the. Oh, I already stopped the machine. On the 2023 EZK2?
okay.
More chat. Let me see chat. Okay. Wars.fd, thank you.
So obviously, well, if someone's reporting it, they probably had it working, but and I suppose just grab the one from ports and see if it has that same issue. Hopefully, our friends in
Oh,
EDK2 land didn't break something or change something dramatically that needs a new implementation. Just saying. Okay, well, there's my suggestions. Compare that, at least for the boot order issue, to the current one in ports, which is hopefully not going to display that problem, but if it has that problem, maybe it's an ancient problem. It's never worked. Okay,
Yep.
cool. Keep up the good work. How about we end the formal recording?
Yep.
I'll chat with Hans a bit, which might have some overlap with what you're doing. And I thank you absolutely everyone who's been participating. The amazing fixes and calls this last few weeks have been inspiring. I appreciate that. I need that. And I hope to see a bunch of you at EuroBSDCon. So I will just grab the share for just a second now and call it good. Let's see. It doesn't want to do that. There we go. Replace the current share. So calling it at 07 after. Here are the notes. I've been tracking the links you provided and that concern about the boot index. And I welcome you to like and subscribe, though we need a catchier phrase for that. And thank you everyone for joining and watching. Absolutely a pleasure.